Audio Jungle.
57-year-old chef gunned down in Linstead. The police in St. Catherine are probing the murder of a man who was shot dead while waiting transportation along the King Street in Linstead. The deceased has been identified as 57-year-old chef Devon George Ashman, a resident of King Street in Linstead. The police report that about 9:40 a.m. on Wednesday, January 31st, Ashman was along the roadway in the vicinity of the entrance of Milkerton when he was approached by a man wearing dark-colored clothing who brandished a firearm and shot him repeatedly. The man then escaped in the area. The police were alerted and Ashman was seen on the side of the road. He was assisted to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Constable battering for life after being mowed down in St. Anne, motorist in custody. A police constable is fighting for his life in hospital after reportedly being struck by a motorist while on duty on the Edward Seoga Highway on Thursday. Police report that the constable is assigned to the Highway Safety and Patrol Division of the Constabulary. The incident occurred in the vicinity of the Unity Valley sometime after midnight. It is reported that the cop signaled a motorist to stop and was mowed down in the process. He was rushed to hospital and admitted for treatment. Reporters understand that the constable is currently in an unconscious state. Police have confirmed that the motorist is in custody. The Jamaican Police Federation says arrangements are being made to transfer the lawman to a medical facility in Kingston. Former police inspector dies suddenly. The sudden death of former police inspector Michael Smith has plunged the St. Catherine North Police Division into mourning. Smith was at his home in Horizon Park, St. Catherine on Wednesday evening when he complained about feeling ill. A family member found him unresponsive and took him to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Smith was a veteran of the defunct Island Special Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Smith is among a number of former police personnel who passed in January 2024. 2 men fatally stabbed in separate incidents in Trelawney. 1 man is now in police custody after being arrested in connection with 2 separate fatal stabbings in Falmouth, Trelawney on Wednesday night. The deceased, both of Trelawney addresses, have been identified as 44-year-old Noel Wilson of Waterlane, Falmouth, and Joel Quarry of Marterbury. According to reports from the Falmouth Police, at about 9:30 p.m., Wilson was standing on Parade Street in the vicinity of public sanitary facility when he was reportedly pounced upon and stabbed in the neck and the chest by an assailant armed with a knife. Then at about 11:17 p.m., while the police were probing the first scene, they were called to Water Square in the same town where Quarry was also stabbed. Quarry was taken to the Falmouth Public General Hospital where he subsequently succumbed to his injuries. The police say they expect to make a charge soon. Delay in calling local government election won't hurt the JLP. Government Minister and former Mayor of Montego Bay, Homer Davis, is confident that the Jamaica Labour Party will not experience any fallout because of previous decisions to push back the local government election. Davis is predicting that the JLP retain the majority of the seats across the island when voters go to the polls. Local Government and Community Development Minister Desmond McKenzie is expected to announce the election day at the Montego Bay Conference Centre in St. James this afternoon. Davis, who is a Member of Parliament for St. James Southern and the Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister West, also shared his views on the contentious issues of a fixed election date. There was a justification for each time it was delayed, and it was the wisdom of the Minister of Local Government to take the necessary legislation to Parliament to have it postponed for a further 12-month period. But that period has now been over, and now we are where we are today, Davis stated. On February 21, 2023, McKenzie told the House of Representatives that the local government election, which was due earlier that year on February 28, was postponed for a third time until February 28, 2024. The election, which was last held in 2016 and was due in November 2020, was postponed due to the after effects of the COVID-19 pandemic despite holding the general election 2 months earlier. Social Security Minister assures that part selection process will be improved. Social Security Minister Pernell Charles Jr. has assured that the selection process for the program of advance through health and education path will be improved. Speaking at a town hall meeting in Brownstown, St. Anne, Mr. Charles Jr. acknowledged that there are several challenges impacting the program. He explained that it is for this reason that the government has decided to undertake a complete overhaul of the program. The overhaul is being done in 3 phases. Phase 1 comprises stakeholders' engagement in the form of town hall meetings. He said another challenge faced by the program is the need for improved monitoring and evaluation.
In my engagement with staff members, with clients, with path beneficiaries, even on social media persons speaking to us, we recognize that there are several issues. And one of the primary issues is with the selection process. Am I correct? Yes? All right. So your government recognizes this issue, and we're taking steps to modernize the program's data collection and verification process. So using technology and data analytics, our goal is to create a new fit-for-purpose path that reaches those who need this support the most. So there's need for us to look on it to see whether we need to improve the structure, the training, additional persons, whatever it is, to work out a better system for monitoring and evaluation. While PATH also has undoubtedly improved lives, there's also the need for us to improve in terms of the collection of data, because an essential part of the overhaul will be investing in robust monitoring systems and research initiatives to track the long-term outcomes of the beneficiaries.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness assures that government is implementing systems and programs that create economic environment and support for creating films in the country. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has sought to assure that the government is implementing the system and programs that ensure the economic environment and support for creating films in the country. He was speaking at a launch at the Jamaica Screen Development Initiative in Kingston.
And we have had to weigh very carefully these decisions about funding. And what we decided to do is that we can't let it be just on a case-by-case basis. Let's put in place a system, a structure, where we're not just going to fund a film coming from overseas that we could consider rebates for expenditures that have been made. But let's look at truly developing an ecosystem that will one day produce another Harder They Come. Because we have the stories to tell, and I'm not talking about the Netflix stories that people are saying Jamaica has so many Netflix stories. We have real stories to tell. There's a lot of stories there to be told. History to be unlocked and represented in statues and museums and artifacts. But if you can't reach them, if they are in a deplorable state, if there is nothing there to highlight it and curate it and properly document it. But let's take Port Royal, for example. Another incredible gem where a multi-million-dollar franchise is literally made off, but no credit to. Pirates of the Caribbean. There are no Pirates of the Caribbean unless it's Port Royal. But we need to build that infrastructure so that we can leverage our history and use it to create even greater content for our own development. So there is a bigger picture in the development of our infrastructure. But the infrastructure itself draws people. In other words, that scene selection of, Ivan Jimmy Cliff riding over the Causeway Bridge, probably the most modern piece of infrastructure built at that time. It was iconic. We need the backdrops. We have the lovely natural backdrop, but we also need the built environment to also reflect the backdrop. And so, your government is thinking big. And sometimes you run into problems because we're thinking big and maybe not translating it to the people so that they understand what this bigger picture is. And so I have to, this morning, take the time to explain.
Woman demands $1 million compensation after alleged stabbing by twin sisters. After claiming that twin sisters from her community had viciously stabbed her all over her body, including in her left ear, a woman is demanding that she be compensated in the sum of $1 million. The Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court heard on Tuesday that the accused woman, Ashanti Nichols, allegedly stabbed the complainant in her left ear, chest side, and thighs. The complainant claims these injuries have caused her emotional and physical distress, including gradual hearing loss in the affected ear. During the proceedings, Ashanti pleaded guilty to the offense of unlawful assault, while her sister pleaded not guilty. However, their defense attorney, Davian Vassell, expressed shock and displeasure that the pleas were registered without his presence. Noting his expression, presiding Judge Leon Cole Montague asked those present in the court if they believed the pleas were coerced, to which the court said no. Additionally, the complainant revealed that she was threatened by Ashanti shortly after the stabbing incident was reported to the police. She said Ashanti vowed, "Not them must kill me." She added that after Ashanti made the threat, a man known to both of them heard and intervened, resulting in the woman being kicked out by the man. The complainant said that Ashanti then heard about the incident and ran to the street where it occurred. She allegedly grabbed a bottle, broke it, and used it to cut her hand. However, the defense attorney detained Ashanti had wounded herself and suggested there should be a cross case with the complainant due to the alleged harm inflicted to his client. The investigating officer stated that the police's extensive investigation did not show evidence of the complainant harming the sisters. As was begun to object to the OA's claims, Cole Montague said, "I don't know what kind of investigation, and I am not doing an inquiry. I am just a humble judge." Explaining further, the investigating officer said over 15 people were interviewed and even video footage was obtained that showed the assault, but nothing indicated that the complainant had harmed the sisters. The complainant explained her intention to undergo plastic surgery for her scars and further treatment for her ear. She also mentioned facing disapproval from individuals in the community for taking the matter to court. She said one committee member inquired as to why she was carrying the Don daughter to court. According to the complainant, the alleged Don is now dead. Considering the complainant's requested amount, the defense attorney remarked she has stated a forcible amount and requested a medical report confirming the extent of her hair loss, which the judge granted. Fingerprint orders were made for the Nichols sisters, and their bills were extended until March 7, when it is expected that the outstanding medical report will be available. The matter is anticipated to go on trial as the parties are unable to reach an agreement at the amount to be paid. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.